Bitcoin predictions, huh? Everyone wants to know, can it really hit $100,000? Or even more? We're going to try to figure that out today. We've got some really interesting research to unpack today.
It really is incredible, isn't it? The amount of buzz around Bitcoin right now.
Right. It's like everyone's just decided Bitcoin ETFs are a done deal. They're going to be approved.
Right.
But if Bitcoin can't handle all that money flooding in from the ETFs, what have we even been doing for the last 15 years?
That's the billion-dollar question, for sure. And to really understand it, we need to look at how Bitcoin's role has changed over time. I mean, it started as this like niche collectible, a digital trading card almost.
Yeah.
And then it was used for transactions, especially where traditional systems were blocked, like with WikiLeaks.
It was a way to move money outside the system.
Exactly. But for everyday stuff, buying your groceries with it never really took off. That volatility makes it tough, right?
Yeah, your coffee could cost twice as much as yesterday. Talk about sticker shock.
Exactly. And then the taxes. Every time you buy something with Bitcoin, it could be a taxable event. That's a lot of paperwork for a cup of coffee. So that's how we get to where we are now. Bitcoin is mainly seen as a store of value.
Like digital gold.
Exactly. People buy it, they hold it, and hope it goes up in value over time.
Okay, that makes sense. But if it is this digital gold, this store of value, why is the price still such a roller coaster? What drives those crazy swings?
A lot of it comes down to liquidity. Think of it like this.
Okay.
Bitcoin's price is a boat, right? And liquidity, that's the tide.
Okay.
So when the tide's coming in, more money's flowing around, that Bitcoin boat is going to rise up with it.
So when we say liquidity with Bitcoin, we're talking about the whole market, right? Not just how easy it is to buy or sell Bitcoin itself.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting. Central banks, like say the Federal Reserve, they have a huge impact on that tide.
Right.
They lower interest rates, they pump money into the economy that's like sending this huge wave, this surge of liquidity right into the market.
Like quantitative easing, right? That's what they did back in '08 and then again during the pandemic.
Right.
They were basically pumping up Bitcoin without even needing to.
You got it. And Lyn Alden's research, she's found a really strong connection between Bitcoin's price and those times when liquidity is up, when those central banks open the floodgates. Bitcoin tends to do really well, way better than traditional assets even.
Wow. That's pretty wild. So you're saying if you want to know what Bitcoin's going to do next, forget the charts. I need to be watching the Fed.
It's a huge piece of the puzzle. But here's the thing. Liquidity alone, it's not a crystal ball.
Right.
It'll give you the general direction, like a compass, but not the exact destination.
Right. Right. Okay, that makes sense. But here's where I get a little lost. Everyone always says Bitcoin's decentralized, right? Separate from the traditional financial world.
Right.
So why does it even matter what the Fed does or any central bank? Shouldn't Bitcoin be like on its own little island? It's like it's trying to swim away, but the current keeps pulling it back.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Bitcoin's designed to be decentralized for sure, but it still exists within this bigger financial world, right? They can't just completely ignore each other. But there's another piece to think about here. Fred Krueger, he's got this idea about a power law that he thinks is driving Bitcoin's growth.
A power law.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it says the longer Bitcoin's around, the more people use it, the faster it'll keep growing. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. You know, it picks up more snow, more speed as it goes. And Krueger's argument is that the demand for Bitcoin, it could actually grow faster than the global money supply.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane when you think about it.
That is why. So it's not just about Bitcoin finding its place. It could like change the whole game. So what does that mean for all these predictions we're hearing? Like Lyn Alden, she's saying $200,000 Bitcoin by late 2025.
Right.
Is she being too optimistic, or could $100,000 actually be too low?
It's really interesting to think about. Alden's not just looking at the numbers, though. She's thinking about the size of the moves Bitcoin's made in the past. She's saying that last bull run is kind of a letdown. If Bitcoin's really going to become mainstream, it needs to blow past those old highs.
Yeah.
Like really make a statement.
Yeah, it's got to prove itself.
Exactly. And this goes back to that power law thing. If more and more people are going to start using Bitcoin, $100,000 might not even seem that crazy in a few years.
Wow, the goalposts just keep moving, huh?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, though. It's like everything around Bitcoin is constantly changing.
Exactly.
This has been a really great deep dive. I feel like I get what's driving all these predictions now, even if we don't have all the answers.
Right. It's still early days for Bitcoin.
It really is. So for everyone listening, here's something to think about. If Bitcoin's price is tied to all this stuff, central banks, this power law thing, everything, does that mean it's stuck with those same old booms and busts as the regular market? Or will being decentralized and more people using it all the time, will that create a whole new set of rules? We want to hear what you think.